Hello, John.
So, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for joining this call. Appreciate having you here, John.
Yeah, I appreciate taking the time, man. I found a lot of your LinkedIn stuff very insightful. A lot of it rings true, and that's probably because you you probably because you talk to so many managers like myself.
Exactly, exactly. Hope it helps. Hope I am actually sharing something that will help someone or help someone from your own stage or other stages. John, you showed interest right here. You have your own fund that you have already launched, as you have already mentioned to me before. And right now you are looking to raise capital. I would love to know more about your own background. What have you already built in the place? And before the end of the call, if there is any potential collaboration, I will make sure to share the next few steps from there.
All right, sounds great, man. Yeah, so I started in traditional finance a long time ago. For about 15 years, I was most recently at BlackRock. Was the last place I was at before I went over to digital assets. I was a partner at one of the earliest firms called Coin Fund, where we started with about 20 million bucks and ended up getting up to about 1.2 billion before I left, and the end of 23 to start my own my own hedge fund with two partners. The point of it that I had was as I'm sure you're very familiar with, kind of what's happened in traditional hedge fund space is the rise of the multi-manager and the multi-strat, who has just kind of sucked up all the alpha with their low volatility, kind of high upside kind of capture of their return profile. And I wanted to bring that to digital assets because it wasn't really there. And my partner, Val, was ex-Citadel, so he knew exactly the in and outs of it. My other partner, Dimitri, had founded a hedge fund back in the early 90s and sold it after it was about a $4 billion hedge fund. So we kind of ran this strategy under Dimitri's family office since early 22. And once we felt like it was in the right spot and we had something truly special, we decided to offer it to external clients. And we did that in September of 2024. We launched with 9 million of our own partner capital and one investor. And we were able to build that up to about 35 million in the first 6 months. We had a lot of interest specifically in our Bitcoin share class, with investors giving us their Bitcoin as a way that they saw a package of both alpha and beta inside the same kind of investment. That represents almost 65% of our current AUM. We have 25 different pods right now that we're either incubating or they're actively trading. And our strategies, we have two funds: the Delta Neutral Fund, which is your statistical arbitrage, volatility arbitrage, a little bit of funding arb, and then our Dynamic Fund, which is our directional fund. Think momentum, reversion, pattern recognition, volatility trading, a little statistical arbitrage as well. And we're a BVI based fund. All of our traders sit offshore, trading across Deribit, OKX, and Binance. 80% of our assets sit in cold storage at our custodian Komainu, and we utilize their what's called off-exchange settlement program. So essentially 80% of our assets do not have exchange exposure, which is really a really powerful kind of tool in the digital asset space to reduce that risk that a lot of investors see. So we're an evergreen fund. We are open-ended, which means that we're continuously raising every month. Our investors have monthly liquidity, and we believe our strategies have capacity to about 250 million, and that's where we're trying to get.
Great. Awesome to hear that. And right now you have in that under management 34 million, correct? As you have already mentioned to me.
Yeah, our anchor investor as part of their initial deal, just took 3.5 million out this past month. So we're sitting at 30
million. Okay, and since you have already started your own fund, have you already lost any clients, or maybe you have? I mean, let's be completely clear with that. Have you?
No, we haven't had anybody come in and then leave entirely. We've had some people come in and then kind of take back a little bit of their money. And then we've had some people come in and then keep giving us more money every few months. But we haven't had anybody leave entirely yet. No.
Okay, great. Great. And right now you are looking to raise capital. What the capital target that you are looking to raise before the end of the year? We are in the mid of the year, we have 6 months. So what do you think that you would like to achieve before the end of the year?
Our goal was to be, I mean, it was a lofty goal, but our goal is to be at 75 million at the end of this year. I don't know if we're going to get there. To be very transparent with you, we hit a lull in February and in March. We have not had a meaningful inflow since then, and in April we had a small inflow this month, but it's just the fundraising. I couldn't tell if it was globally. Anecdotally, Zayed, am I pronouncing that correct, by the way, Zayed?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Anecdotally, like from all of the fund managers that I speak to in digital assets, to be clear, it sounds like fundraising was really slow February, March, April, and it's starting to pick up again. So hopefully it picks up. But right now, our strategy for fundraising is we're a very small team. It's just me, the 2 founders, and then our CFO. Those are the only full-time employees. Like I said, our traders are all think about it as almost like 1099 employees, right? They earn revenue shares of their profit, but they are not employees of the firm. And I have set up kind of distribution partners in different regions. We have one in the Gulf Coast. I just signed up one in the UK, and we are working with signing up one here in the United States. And when I say distribution partners, it's just standard capital introduction kind of partners, but ones that we believe have regional expertise in areas that we don't. So that's kind of been our strategy so far, but that we just kind of launched that, and we have not seen anything from it yet.
Great, awesome to hear that. And since when you have already partnered up with capital introducers from different markets?
Yeah, that we just signed those deals like within the last 2 months. We've got some introductions from them, but like again, we just started this, so we haven't seen anything yet.
Exactly, and you haven't seen any qualified at LBS or anything like that, correct?
One, that was it.
All right, and they were qualified. They
were qualified, and we're having the conversation.
Okay, great. And how is the conversation going right now?
Not bad. I mean, when people, our whole thing is getting people to hear our story. What we're doing is really, I think it's really unique. It's essentially a fund of different SMAs, and we are, because we have access to all these like fund performances, and we were the top performer for directional kind of quant in digital assets for the first quarter. Even though we lost money, we lost the smallest amount of money. So like we're excited about our product, and we think it's unique. We just have trouble getting to the right people. I don't know if it's our return profiles, Zayed, is more something that you would find in traditional finance. So the people who are really want these huge performing funds in crypto, we're kind of in this interesting place where the more risk averse people is kind of where we go in crypto, but there's not a lot of risk averse people in crypto. You know what I mean? So we're finding ourselves kind of tough to find the right people, if that makes sense.
Understood. And the check size that you got from the LB who were qualified it right now, what the check size that he are looking to invest into the fund right here? 500K.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, understood. And you're looking to raise 75 million before the end of the year?
That's the hope. So like that's like essentially another 40 to 50 is where I would like to be by the end of the year. And that's pretty much where we're at. And I'd love to. I had a bunch of questions. I looked through all your services. I have some questions for you, unless you had more questions for me, and then we can go on there too.
Absolutely. I would love to answer your own questions. I just want to understand a bit more on the team structure right here. I mean, right now you have already mentioned to me that you have capital raisers from different markets, and you have traders who are working also with your own team. And what do you think that you need to have in the place right here to raise like up to 250 million that you are looking to raise as a capital target?
Yeah, I think we have our structure is extremely scalable, right? So we have because we found this operating lever that we can keep our assets in cold storage. Our exchange exposure doesn't go up, right? So that's a big one. The fact that our trading teams are global and they can be anywhere. We have an immense access for new talent and new strategies, and so we can scale that up easily. We've gone kind of with these new kind of independent fundraisers. Again, we're going to see where that goes. It's literally a month old, so we'll see what happens there. But the rest of the team is just me, the CIO, our other founder, and then our CFO, who's based in London. That's like the 4 core team.
Okay, understood. And who's taking the sales calls with the investors or the presentations?
Me. It's 100% me. 100% me.
All right, so you are the best in the presentation side, correct?
Yes.
Understood. And you have already closed the investors before, the LBS before. And do you have any metric on the close-up rates that you have already generated for the last quarters?
Yeah, like you mean conversion of calls to conversions, you're saying?
Exactly.
Yes, I have some data.
Can you share that? How many calls you have already took for the last 2 quarters, and how many of them that you have already closed since then?
Yep, I can get you that. Let's see if you give me 1 second.
Sure, take your time.
All right. So Q1, 2025, 48 calls, 4 conversions.
Okay.
And 2020 Q2, so that's where we are right now. 70 calls, 2 conversions.
70 calls, 2 conversions. So the conversions going down, is it the conversions or is it like the qualification of the calls?
I think it's the qualifications of the calls. I think there was such a need and a desire for our product. So when we launched in September, like it was all inbound. We did no fundraising. We did no marketing. There wasn't a big effort. It was just the network and word of mouth of what we were doing came like very, very fast. So it was just constant for the first like 3 or 4 months. And we can't tell if 2 things. Number one, we're doing something wrong. That's not seeing a lot of follow through from those investors. We haven't seen them re-up. And number 2, we just haven't seen new people. Like I'm doing a LinkedIn campaign right now with this AI marketing platform that's supposed to help me get qualified calls. We've been doing it for a month. I've gotten 1 call. So like, So I can't tell if if our story has gotten stale, if the story needs to be improved, or people are just not looking to allocate at the moment. I don't know.
I mean, I have already seen hedge fund managers who has already closed like 30 million for the last 90 days. It's not about that at all. As I can see right here, what do you have right here is in the beginning, you had your own network who were interested to invest into your own fund. And maybe you have already built your own personal brand. Maybe someone who were interested to invest into your own strategy, so you got the interest inbound. But then with the time, you have already seen, all right, this will not go like that, and I will never actually scale up by only having inbound, and you are not getting more inbound from your own network and your own connection, which is completely fine. I mean, you don't need to keep having that. What you need to understand is you need to have new sources that will help you to expand, to actually keep being proactive, not reactive, correct? So you need to be more proactive to keep scaling and claiming new capital. I mean, capital will never knock your own door telling you, all right, we are interested to invest into you. That will never happen. I mean, it happens, but very rare. You understand?
Very rare.
It will never happen. I mean, you need actually to have a new methods, strategies, tools to make sure that you can keep scaling assets under management constantly, aggressively, and massively, so you can keep focusing on the portfolio management, providing the best performance, the lowest drawdown report, so you can create an asset that it would be great and huge. And with the time, you will become oversubscribed. If you understand how you can spread the word, spread the message, and share to everyone, and let everyone know that what you got right here is absolutely what you need to have in your own portfolio, correct?
Yeah.